Forget everything you thought you knew about fighting monsters in Silent Hill. Forget the rusty pipes and the clumsy swings that somehow, barely, got the job done. This isn't just about survival anymore. This is about precision. And it's a test you're probably going to fail. Silent Hill F isn't just changing the rules. It feels like it's tearing out the pages of the survival horror playbook entirely. For years, we've navigated the fog, armed with the shaky comfort that we could keep horrors at a distance, either with scarce ammo or a wild swing from a melee weapon. Well, that era is over. This is a whole new breed of terror, one that thrives in the split second between your attacks. Silent Hill F seems to be introducing a combat system that will challenge series veterans and newcomers in a completely new way. We're not talking about clunky controls anymore. This is a demanding, high-stakes system built on relentless stamina management and precise, well-timed counters. The game's heavy focus on melee is going to leave a lot of players struggling just to stay on their feet. Welcome to 1960s Japan, where the fog is thicker, the monsters are faster, and your greatest enemy might just be your own exhaustion. The illusion of familiarity. Let's be real, the combat in classic Silent Hill was never its main selling point. It was awkward, stiff, and you often felt like you were fighting the controls more than the monsters. We all remember James Sunderland swinging a wooden plank with the grace of a man trying to swat a fly in the dark. But there was a weird comfort in that clunkiness, right? It made it clear that these were ordinary people in extraordinary situations. They weren't trained soldiers. They were just trying to survive. The system was predictable. You could learn enemy patterns, keep your distance, and lean on a handful of bullets to get through the worst of it. A few good shots or a couple of heavy swings, and you could make some breathing room. The real horror was in the atmosphere and the psychological torment. The combat was just a way to get from one creepy hallway to the next. We all learned to exploit its limits, running past any creature we didn't absolutely have to fight. Silent Hill F seems to hand you that same illusion at first. You'll likely pick up a familiar-feeling weapon, see a grotesque monster, and your muscle memory will just kick in. You think you know how this dance goes. You step forward, you swing. And that's right where the illusion shatters. That's the moment you realize your old skills, your decades of surviving the fog, might mean absolutely nothing here. To really get why you probably won't survive, we have to break down the three core ideas that seem to be at the heart of this new combat. First, let's talk about stamina as a weapon against you. In past games, stamina was mostly for running. In what we've seen of Silent Hill F, it's everything. Every single action in a fight is tied to a rapidly draining stamina bar. A light attack costs you. A heavy attack costs you more. Dodging costs you. If that bar hits empty, you are left completely vulnerable. Your character doesn't just slow down. They're left gasping for air, unable to attack or run, while the enemy closes in. Suddenly, every fight is a terrifying puzzle. Do you have enough stamina for one more swing? Can you afford to dodge? Misjudge it by a hair, and you're done. The game seems to offer a lifeline. A well-timed dodge might not only avoid damage, but could even help you recover. This isn't a gift, though. It's a demand for precision. Panicked, sloppy dodging is off the table. The second pillar is the counterattack mentality. Silent Hill F is heavily focused on up-close and personal melee combat. You're almost always going to be in the danger zone. To survive that constant pressure, the game features a counter system that looks to be your most important tool. During certain enemy attacks, you'll have a window of opportunity. A well-timed heavy attack can trigger a devastating counter, staggering the creature and dealing massive damage. Based on previews, this isn't just for style points, it's a core survival mechanic. The combat loop seems to be about baiting out attacks and mastering that timing. So forget button mashing. Most of your time will be spent on the defensive, studying movements and waiting for that split-second opening. It turns every fight from a simple brawl into a deadly, high-stakes rhythm game. Finally, we have relentless aggression. The monsters shown so far are not the shambling, passive creatures of the past. They seem designed to exploit these new systems. They're aggressive, their attack patterns can be erratic, and they often appear to hunt in groups, forcing you to manage multiple threats at once. And because the game pushes you into close-quarters combat, you have no choice but to face these things head-on. You can't just kite them down a long hallway from a safe distance. The world itself, with its narrow streets and claustrophobic corridors, seems to funnel you right into their path. While you can likely still run from some encounters, many confrontations feel designed to be unavoidable. So, we have a system that drains your ability to act, demands sharp timing to survive, and forces you into close-quarters battles. It's a brutal combination, and it's already got people talking. So I have to ask, does this sound like a welcome evolution for the series, or a step too far? Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm really curious to see where everyone lands on this. If you're a series veteran, your instincts might actually be your worst enemy in Silent Hill F. Let's look at the classic strategies and see how this new system turns them upside down. Your first instinct might be to tank a hit, take a little damage to land a bigger one. That's probably suicide here. Enemies appear to hit incredibly hard, and trading blows is a losing game from the start. Survival seems to depend entirely on not getting hit. What about resource management? In the old days, that meant counting bullets. Here, your main resource is yourself. On top of managing your health and stamina, the game introduces a focus meter. This appears to be a resource you can spend on powerful abilities, like countering or possibly even slowing down time, giving you an edge in a fight. But spending it means you can't use it again until it recharges. So now you're constantly juggling health, stamina, and focus. A mistake in managing any one of them could be fatal. And what about the old reliable strategy of just running past everything? While evasion is still a part of the game, it's not the get-out-of-jail-free card it once was. The aggressive enemies and claustrophobic level design work together to make avoidance much trickier. The game wants you to feel cornered. It wants you to feel that pressure. Your old habits of ammunition conservation and just booking it past monsters aren't just less useful, they might get you killed. Silent Hill F seems to demand a new kind of player. One who is patient, observant, and precise. After breaking all of this down, it's easy to see why some might look at this combat and call it clunky or frustrating. If you try to play it like a standard action game, it probably will feel that way. But I think that's missing the point. This might not be a failed attempt at an action system. This is the horror. The real horror of Silent Hill F isn't just the monster designs or the creepy atmosphere. The horror is that feeling of helplessness when your stamina is gone and a creature is winding up for the final blow. The horror is the cold sweat while you wait for that counter window, knowing that if you miss, you're dead. The horror is the panic of being cornered with no easy way out. The developers seem to have woven the psychological themes of the series, trauma, helplessness, and pressure, directly into the mechanics of the game. You aren't just watching the protagonist struggle, you're feeling it through the controller. While developers have mentioned options like a story mode for those who want a less intense experience, the core design seems built to be stressful and demanding. The fight for survival is no longer just a story beat. It's a grueling, moment-to-moment reality. This won't be a game you can just breeze through. It's one you'll have to master. So, are you ready for a new breed of horror where the combat itself might be the main antagonist? Or will you, like many others, be left behind in the fog? Thanks for watching! If you made it this far, maybe you do have the patience to survive Silent Hill F after all. If you enjoyed this breakdown, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into survival horror. And seriously, let me know your thoughts on this combat system in the comments. Until next time, stay safe out there.